Our guest today is a WWE Hall of Famer, a man who is known as Mr. USA in bodybuilding. He has been a multi-time champion throughout his career, as well as a manager in recent years, and you also saw him on WWE's Legends House. Please welcome Tony Atlas. Tony, thanks for joining us.
Well, it's awfully nice being with you. How you doing tonight?
Doing good, doing good. Now, this weekend you'll be with ESS Promotions on November 19th at PPW and on the 20th at the Pro Wrestling World in Allentown, Pennsylvania. What's it like to get out there and meet the fans who have watched you for your entire career?
You know, like you said, I've been in this business, ever since the 70s. Started with Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, worked for World Class, worked in Puerto Rico, worked in all over Europe and everything. And no matter where we go, sometimes we would go to an area. It takes us a long time to get there. You get there, you're jet lag or whatever, but as soon as you get around the fan, they give you that extra energy.
Definitely.
So, no matter how old you get, it's in our blood now. So, and not only that, I'm going to get to meet a lot of wonderful fans that I've been on, all through the years. But another good thing about it, they're going to have other legends there. I understand Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I'm going to see him this weekend, who was also one of the members of the Legend House, and unfortunately, we just lost, Ronnie Piper. So, it's hard to think about Legend House, with the fact, that Piper is no longer among us.
Speaking of Legends House, with the WWE Network, fans get to watch all this programming, at their fingertips on this streaming media. Now, the fans who have caught you on the Legends House, maybe to sum it up for them, what could you tell them what the experience was like for you being in one house with several different personalities, to say the least?
Well, see, the wonderful thing that all of us got the opportunity of being in Legends House. See, most times when I saw Pat Patterson or when I saw Rocky Johnson or any of the wrestlers, we saw each other at the arenas. And then at the end of the day, each person, they would go to their apartment or hotel or wherever they go. So we travel on the road together. So, but we never, how you say it, live together. We all have wives, we all have family, so we never lived together. So my mom used to always say, you never really know anybody until you live with them.
Yeah.
So, we share a hotel room with each other every now and then. But the genius of Vince McMahon, there was nobody at Legend House that I see anywhere else but in the arena. And that's why Vince did it that way. We was all strangers to each other. I would call a good guy babyface. Hacksaw, when he first started his career in Louisiana, he was a heel. Ronnie Piper was a heel. I couldn't travel with the heels. Pat Patterson, he was an office administration. I didn't travel with office people. So there was nobody there that I spent any time with. Hillbilly came in the gym a little bit later, but Hillbilly traveled with Uncle Elmer, in his group, and I was traveling with Rocky Johnson. So we really, like I just left the WWE. There was only two people I traveled with in 2 years, Ted Long and Mark Henry. That was it. Everybody else I saw when I got there.
Sure.
When we got to the building. That's what so wrestlers are really strangers to each other. It's kind of like you go to work with a guy every day.
Yeah.
But when he get home, you don't know what he do.
Exactly.
This guy could be stringing off the chandeliers, eating bugs off the floor. You don't know.
Yep. Now,
all you see him at work every morning.
Yep.
And what he does when he get home, he probably love to take cold showers or pack himself in ice or whatever. Yeah.
Definitely. Now, we got to learn a lot on the show, especially that you're also an artist. Has art always been a part of your life?
Yep. I was pretty lucky. My mother was a very good drawer, and I never knew that I could draw until one day I went to Sunday school when I was a child in Virginia, and my mother couldn't afford coloring books. So what she did, she used to draw pictures for us to color in Sunday school. So what I did, when I color all my pictures, I used to turn it over on the back, and I used to draw what my mother drew. Mm-hmm. And that's when I learned that I could draw probably about 5 or 6, and I always just kept it up. It was like a therapy for me. When I got upset or something, I used to try with S.D. Jones, and S.D. said, boss man, you got your art pad? I go, yeah. Good, boss man. Because he knew that whenever I got upset, I used to pull out my art pad. I had quite a temper when I was young. Uh-huh. I was very temperamental young man. You know, it didn't take much to make me jump on you.
So were you able to do that a lot on the road, too, in between shows and matches? Were you able to just, take it easy?
Yeah. You know, if you ever get my book, Too Much Too Soon by Scott Teal, press.com, you can read. I was a very temperamental person. The rest of the world was different, what it is today. The world in general was different. If you was a badass back in the 70s and 80s, they wanted you. The badder you was, the more they wanted. The more freaky you were, the more they wanted you. Wrestling was a totally different commodity. See, you don't have wrestlers no more. You had entertainers now.
Yeah.
We was wrestling. We go into the bar, and we couldn't wait to pick a fight and beat up everybody.
Definitely.
Well, if you done that, it got in the newspaper. People pick up that newspaper, and they read it. Then they want to come and see the wrestler because they hear about 2 wrestlers clear a bar. You never hear stuff about with 2 guys go in the bar and run everybody out of the bar.
Sure.
And in the 70s and the 60s, that happened a lot. So, the old time belief, good publicity, bad publicity, it didn't matter. Reed Hanson one time, took and beat up a bunch of people in North Carolina. They put them on the car the next night, and the building sold out. So guys who go out to get in fights in the olden days, you have to be on top of the car. But then the world changed, and it didn't matter how tough you were anymore. The only thing mattered was who had the best lawyer.
There you go.
If I too happy, you hit me, I'm going to sue you.
Now, if we could rewind a little bit, can you take us back to when you actually teamed with Rocky Johnson? Now, you guys made history when you went on to beat the Wild Samoans, becoming the first African-American team to hold those belts. How did that feel to make history right there and then?
Well, in a way, it felt wonderful, but in another way, it was very, very sad because S.D. Jones told both me and Rocky we was the only guy that ever had that belt that never made money with it. Mm-hmm. They put it on us, but they didn't do nothing to whip us. We never got any serious matches. The Wild Samoans never got a return match. And they didn't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
The moment I went with Ron Summers was our world champion down in WCW. Same thing with him. Even though he was the world champion, the guy they was putting all the attention on, giving all the glory to, and I'm not complaining, it's just honest God truth. Uh-huh. If a man can't tell the truth, forget about it.
Sure.
Sting was still the number 1 guy. They just, they never let Ron Summers, most people don't even know Ron had the belt.
Yeah.
Ron was the first African-American champion, and most people, you talk about Ron Summers, who? Well, you say Sting, because that's who they promoted.
Yeah.
It was strange that they would give you a title. See, having a title is one thing. But if people don't promote it and do something with it, it means nothing. I mean, it was a great honor. I mean, me and Rocky, we really, was glad that we got that opportunity, but we wish that they had took it a little bit further. And if you ever think about it, when they broke us the tag team of me and Rocket, You didn't hear about us anymore.
Yeah.
We got blackballed out there. Rocky got blackballed. I got blackballed. How can you win? Go from being world champion to being blackballed?
How do you see the evolution of black wrestlers in mainstream wrestling, maybe compared to when you started out? Do you feel that they're probably getting more shots today than you guys had back then?
Well, you see, to the wrestling fan, it wasn't about being black wrestlers. The fans don't look at that. What the fans look at is talent. You could have more talent than a person, but if that promoter don't like you or you're not in the clique, your talent means nothing. I knew when I first started in wrestling, the first thing the old time you said most of the best wrestlers are the ones that don't get no push because they're not in the clique. You know, when you look at pictures of me and Rocky Johnson, there was nobody in the freaking world looking like us.
Yeah.
You know, just the talent-wise, you know, there was no guy with that type of body, that type of physique, and we wasn't stiff. You know, we threw drop kicks, head scissors. You know, they didn't have nobody in the business looking like that during that time. They do now.
Yeah.
But you know, back in the early '80s, me and Rocky Johnson were probably the only bodybuilders. We looked like bodybuilders and moved like wrestlers. You know, Rocky Johnson was a hell of an athlete, but as soon as we lost the title. Tell me what happened to Rocky Johnson after they lost the title. You tell me what happened with him. He disappeared like he was up on Earth. How can that be? How can you go from the top of the world to out of sight like that? It's like somebody turn a light on.
Yep.
You know? And it got nothing to do if you're not in the clique. Got nothing to do with your color. Got nothing to do with your nationality. It ain't what you know, it's who you know.
Definitely. Now, do you think we'll ever have a legitimate black champion as the face of a company? I mean, we've had champions, Booker T or Bobby Lashley, but somebody who can actually go, you know, like a John Cena for years and years and be that, you know, that face of the company. Do you think we'll get to that point sooner or later?
No, you won't, because the world is changing.
Oh yeah.
The world is changing. One of the wrestling's biggest draw. When you think of you know, since you want to talk the black thing, I'm going to do it in a business way.
Okay.
Not in I'm going to do it business like. Now, every major sport in the world is dominated by minorities, blacks and Spanish or whatever. When you look at wrestling, it's one of the few sports that is not. Now, back in my day, being black was popular because they didn't have many black wrestlers. But now in the entertainment business, there's an old saying, once a book been read, it's old. That is entertainment. It's not racism. That's entertainment. When people turn on the TV, people like to see something they can relate to. And having a black champion in wrestling today don't really mean that much anymore. It did in the 70s and in the 80s, right after segregation, but right now it don't mean anything. To the general public, but what color the wrestler are. They don't give a red ass or what color it is. But wrestling is one of the very few sports. When you think about football, and when you look at most of your football team, what you say about 60 or 70% of the team is what? When you name any team that don't have at least 50% minority on the team, name one with that. Okay, basketball.
Yeah.
Basketball. How many Irishmen you see running up there in that court? You see it? Now, wrestling, go to wrestling, and what you see in wrestling. You don't see a lot of minorities in wrestling. A big cause. It got nothing to do with racism or any of this crap that people want to try to say that Tony had to say. What it got something to do with is your viewing audience. When they watch a basketball game, they see a bunch of black guys running there the court. They watch wrestling, see a bunch of white guys flipping around the ring. Just like black people like turning the channel and see some black people doing something. White people like turning the channel too and see some white people doing something.
Yep.
You know, it ain't got nothing to do with color no more. What it got to do something with is business. Once a book been read, it is old. And people like, especially they decided that like variety. So if you want to see a lot of success from white athletes, you watch wrestling. You want to see a lot of success for black athletes, you watch basketball. to do with race. Got something to do with the viewing audience, depending on what you want to look at that day. Jimmy Slicker?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now think about what Jimmy looked like. Remember Junkyard Dog?
Yep.
Pedro Morales, the Wild Samoan, Rocky Johnson, Tony Atlas, S.D. Jones. What do you see?
I see talent. That's what I see.
You see talent, but talent, minority talent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mr. Fuji, Aido, a lot of minorities.
Yeah.
From 1985, the page flipped. Then you got Ronnie Piper. You got Mr. Perfect. You got Randy Savage. You got Hulk Hogan. You see how the page flipped?
Sure. Yep.
It went from Slooker to Hogan. It went from Don Morocco to Mr. Perfect. It went from Pedro Morales to Paul Orndorff.
Mm.
Once a book been read, it's old. For years, the old promotion, they used to feel that it was best to have a minority to represent every group in New York. That's why you have to have a Puerto Rican, you have to have an Italian, you have to have a Japanese, you have to have a black, you know?
Yep.
There was this, yeah, but see, because when you look at wrestling from 1985 back, there was a lot of minorities. Hmm. And, that was on top. When I first started, the only white guy there was Bob Bathurst. You think about that with this Bathurst.
Yeah. It's definitely amazing how, things change like that. And like you said, how once it gets old, as soon as people read that book, they got to move on to the next one or whatnot. So it's interesting, yeah.
It's got nothing to do with racism, got nothing to do with that. What it is, it got something to do with, no matter what it is, people get tired of seeing the same thing over and over and over. A lot of the ideas that Vince had, a lot of the old-time wrestlers didn't like it. They didn't think it would work.
Yep.
They didn't think it would work.
Definitely.
And so what they did, they want to keep things the way that they did it years and years and years ago. Vince understood marketing.
Yeah.
And he knew, right, his motto was supply and demand. So he listened to the people, just like this past election. What put Donald Trump in office and kept Hillary out, the Democrats did not listen to the people. The people wanted Bernie. He was the guy that was putting butts in the seats.
Yep.
You have to go with what the fan wanted. And that's what Vince's successful. He knew that wrestling had to change. There's something to Washington, D.C. one time. They told me, you got to go to Washington. There's a lot of black people there. Mm-hmm. When I got to Washington, D.C., and got into the Capitol Center, me and S.D. Jones, all the black people in the whole building.
Wow.
Which means, the white people didn't say that I was black. They want to see me and Hogan wrestling. Yeah. See?
Yep.
They didn't care if Muhammad Ali was black. They want to see him fight.
Sure.
And when you have the same thing over and over and over with people, they get tired of looking at it.
Yep.
So you have to have that. That's what made Larry Bird such a popular guy. You don't see the white guy out there wrinkling up that point like Bird did. Yeah.
That's right.
He was just like Taylor Woods. Hey, that's the same thing with Taylor Woods. You don't see no black guy out there doing a 67 or 68 on, That's why the Williams sisters are so popular. Because you don't see a woman, no matter if she's black or white, hitting the ball at 120 miles per hour.
That's right.
The people don't care about color. They care about talent. But they don't. They want to see something different, too. So you have to have, different stuff, especially in society today. Mm-hmm. Because the way the world is now, people expect so much to get bored so quickly. Uh-huh. That's why guys like me and Nikolai, we're so interested to people because we like old dinosaurs. We came from a time that these people didn't see.
Yep.
So now, what is old is now new.
That's right.
I'm new because you never seen an old dinosaur like me before. You know, I'm kind of like old T-Rex that had just risen from the grave. It's, hey, I remember that. I was like you.
We're big. Our hometown area is Poughkeepsie, New York. Do you have any memories about wrestling at the MidHudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, New York, or anything that stands out by chance?
That's when Vince first started doing TV. TV was always done in Allentown or Hamburg or Pennsylvania. And then Vince started doing TV in Poughkeepsie, New York. That was the first place he started doing his television taping.
Yep.
That's when Vince Jr. started doing his television taping. Vince Sr. always done his taping in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Yeah, so Poughkeepsie was the beginning of the big shows.
Definitely, a little birthplace, yeah.
That was the birthplace of it. So every wrestler that was around during that time remember Poughkeepsie.
Fans are always curious out there. Do you have any cool memorabilia that you've saved throughout your career that you still have today?
Well, not really. See, a lot of us wrestlers, see, like I said, the world changed. We didn't see it at memorabilia. We seen it at junk. We threw it away.
Uh-huh.
You know, we didn't, like I said, the world changed. Sometimes we sit down, I give you a prime example. When I was a kid, we used to get baseball cards, right?
Yep.
And we would put them in our bicycle spokes. And we would ride the bike, used to make noise going down the street,
Yep.
With some of them baseball cards, and I used to put in my bicycle spoke. Sometimes I look at TV, some guy gets $5,000 for it. That's a lesson to learn. Us wrestlers, we learn a great lesson, something that may not mean nothing to you right now. I watched this thing, American Picker. Some guy got some old bicycle, don't even have no wheels, no spokes, just a frame. And it was $200.
It's crazy.
I see this stuff, and we don't know. Sometimes people don't know their own wealth.
Yep.
You collect something, and all of a sudden down the road, it worth a lot of money.
It's crazy.
Like people that got a Roddy Piper autograph. You know what an Andre the Giant autograph is worth? A lot, because you can't get another one.
Yep, that's right.
You can't get another Ronnie. If you don't have a Roddy Piper autograph, you would never get one, unless you buy it off of somebody. But you still don't get the privilege and the honor of sitting there watching Roddy Piper sign that paper.
Definitely.
See, that's the only part that is missing about it. But you can't, when something's gone, it's gone.
Sure.
When time move on, time waits for nobody. It's gone. The world of wrestling that I was raised up with is gone. This is the new wrestling. This is the new world. But the new wrestling fits the new world. The wrestling that I did will not fit in today's society. It's not the same society. Like the music. The music that I listen to would not fit in today's society.
That's right. Well, so much has changed. So much has changed.
And we can look back at the past all we want, but nothing that happened in the past fits today's living society. So that's why I'm always interested in going to these shows. I get to meet the fans. I get to meet some of these wrestlers of my time, and I get to meet some of the younger wrestlers coming up in the future. So one thing that's going to be good about being there on the 19 and being there on the 20, I'm going to be, the fans get to see the past and the future at the same time. That was what's so good about these independent shows. And at Bud Shop, people will come in and go see Jake Roberts, Tony Atlas, Hacksaw Jim Duggan from the past, and they're going to get to see a lot of new and upcoming stars. A lot of people they get an autograph from there that probably don't have a big name now. And 5 years from now, they're going to be glad they got the autograph.
That's right. I just want to remind everybody out there, too, once again, head on over to ESSpromotions.com for more information. Tony Atlas, I could probably talk to you all night, but I thank you so much for joining us today to talk a little bit more.
Well, I'll give you an example. Of what I just said. In 2009 or 2008, I took a picture with President-elect Donald Trump. At that time, in 2008, 2009, it was just Donald Trump, millionaire, the guy that cut off Vince McMahon hair.
Yep.
Now that picture have changed. There's not a picture with the Apprentice star anymore.
That's right.
That's a picture with the 45th president of the United States.
Anything could happen, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. I took a picture with Donald Trump, and you probably have seen it on the internet.
Yep.
Yep, and now that picture is Tony Atlas with the president.
Well,
I'm on the internet with the president, right? Just like that.
That's right. Well, Tony.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, that is, and I just want to say, thank you so much again for taking the time out tonight. We really appreciate it. And I know the fans around the world listening today appreciate it too.
Tell all the people come to the show. Tony Atlas is still Jack, brother. Wait till you see me.
That's great. Well, we can't wait to see you, Tony. Thank you so much for joining us today.
All right. Good night, sir. And have a happy Thanksgiving.